What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam, hope everyone is doing phenomenal tonight. Man, hope everyone had a great Tuesday. You guys already know what time it is, baby. It's another live 2022 fantasy football mock draft with you guys with the Catch fam. I'm excited as ever to be here with you tonight. We've got a 12-team mock draft, full PPR. It's going to be a good time. We're going to talk some fantasy football. We're going to have some fun. So y'all know what to do, man. Hit that like button on the way and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And of course, hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping, everybody. Let's have some fun. We got some things to go over today. We really do. So, Julio Jones signing a one-year deal with the Buccaneers. How about that? I don't think anyone necessarily saw this coming. I think a lot of people had the Packers as a possible landing spot. I mean, there are a lot of teams thrown around, right? But the Bucs is quite interesting. So I know this is going to be coming up throughout the entire night, right? Or coming up throughout the entire night, excuse me. And this is definitely something that we're going to have to touch on. But I feel like my initial thoughts with Julio, the way he played last season, and really, I mean, just the last two seasons, right? A lot of missed time. And he had some good flashes last season. He did some Julio things last season. Don't get me wrong. But overall, just a really disappointing year in Tennessee. I mean, a lot of people really excited about this signing. I mean, don't forget, going into last fantasy season, Julio was depending on your league and the size, a 4th, 5th, or 6th rounder. I mean, listen, people still liked Julio going into last year and really liked the idea of Julio next to A.J. Brown. So, my initial thoughts are, it's no knock to Julio, the future Hall of Famer, but I'm not very bullish on going out and targeting Julio. Now, at the end of best ball drafts, that's a different story, but in redraft formats, dynasty formats, 14-man or under leagues, I think we need to hold off here. Personally, I do think that I don't know. I still feel better about Russell Gage as a wide receiver 3 on this team. And I think some people talking about how Gage's ADP is going to go down. Possibly Godwin's or Evans could go down from this. For me personally, if that happens, I'm okay with it because this doesn't really change the landscape for me. Russell Gage was much, much more productive than Julio Jones was last season. And when we look at what Gage did last year, 770 receiving yards off 66 receptions, 94 targets, and 4 touchdowns. And you look at the year before, 110 targets, 72 receptions, 786 receiving yards. Once again, 4 scores. You compare that to just 10 games played by Julio last season. Really 19 games over the last 2 seasons. But last year, 434 receiving yards off 31 receptions and just 1 score. So obviously some injury issues with Julio. Don't get me wrong, Gage missed a little bit of time last year as well. But Gage much, much more productive as of late. Don't get me wrong. Overall, Julio Jones is a better receiver. Don't get me wrong. But Julio's a veteran. He's a tried and true veteran. But don't get me wrong, right? If there's anyone who can get the most out of Julio Jones as a wide receiver in the National Football League, it's probably Tom Brady, right? So there's reasons to feel optimistic about this trade, and I do think he'll play a role within this offense as long as he's healthy. But for me, the pecking order still goes Evans, Godwin, Gage in terms of who we are drafting, right? And really, I think the bigger knock to Russell Gage is the potential that Chris Godwin, cleared to begin training camp today and could be ready to go by week 1. That's pretty optimistic, right? But even if he's ready by week 4 or so, that hurts Gage more than anything. But I still think the way that this offense is going to be ran, that Gage is going to be very, very involved. And wow, you've got on the pecking order on Sleeper, Evans, Godwin, Jones. Gage as a backup wide receiver 2. But and then Tyler Johnson. Johnson, Grayson. There's some other names. Scotty Miller, right? But overall, obviously we know the top dogs are. And then tight end is just a nightmare, right? Brait and Kyle Rudolph. So the Bucs making some moves lately, making things a little bit confusing for us. So we'll go ahead and we'll ask in the polls here. And I'm going to hop in the chat in a second. I see you guys. What's up, everybody? Are you drafting Julio Jones? So, we'll talk about this throughout the night, but obviously we wanted to touch on that right away. I mean, outside of that, we got Chris Carson retiring from the NFL. Definitely a fantastic career when he was on the field and just an absolute monster. So, it's an unfortunate injury. I do think it's the best move for Carson overall. So, shout out to Chris Carson, man. We'll miss you. We'll miss watching you play football, no doubt. All right, little bunny hop in the house was good. Appreciate you being here. Derek, hello. Andrea, what up? Bunny hop says, Julio wants that ring. I'm not mad at him. He deserves 100%. 100%. I agree with that. Last season is last season. He didn't have Tom Brady throwing to him. Just my thought. Brady can make Hogan and Amendola look good. Imagine what he could do to Julio. Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. Like I said, right, we kind of touched on that point, and you definitely put that in the chat before I touched on that point. But if there's anyone who can get the most out of Julio at this point in his career, it's going to be Brady. But so it's a fair argument. And like I said, I mean, going into last season, Julio was a fantasy player that a lot of people were going after. I mean, there were fantasy managers going after Julio over A.J. Brown last season. Excuse me. That was intense. There you go. Live action sneeze for you guys. So it's not like he's far removed from the fantasy community. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and set the draft order for you guys so everyone knows where they're drafting from. And holy cow, what did I just do? Okay, that was interesting. All right, draft settings, draft order, randomize. Here's your guys' spots. And let me know in the live chat, man. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready to go. We'll try and give this a couple more minutes. Give everyone some time to get in here. Looks like I've got all the settings, how we need them. Quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end, 2 flexes, 2 benches, 15 rounds, kicker, defense. All right, cool. All right, Julian says Gage is RIP. See, I think Gage will be okay. And if Gage's ADP falls back, like, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm all for that. I will draft Gage all day long. But I get it, right? This is going to be a little bit, I don't want to say divisive, but people are going to have different opinions about which Buccaneers receivers they're going to want to target. And if Gage is going to be the lowest in terms of ADP, then I'm going to target Gage, quite frankly. You know, I mean, Evans is obviously the guy that I want. And Godwin making recovery makes things confusing. The Buccaneers really making things confusing for us in fantasy football, guys. You know, we got the tight end situation. Then we got Leonard Fournette apparently weighing in at 245 today. So all that was just smoke. So apparently Fournette is just fine, in case you guys didn't see that. So I don't know, man. Buccaneers not making things easy in terms of our evaluation. Jerry in the house. What's up, bro? Hello. Chase said Julio looked rough. He'll be like a number 3 option. Yeah, I mean, obviously, even with Godwin and Evans there, those are your first reads, right? And I really do think Gage, you know, it'll be between Gage and Julio. They're going to play very different roles, right? So we'll see. We'll talk about it more throughout the night, man. All right, hit that like button for me on the way in, guys. And let's see. We've got almost everyone in here, so I'll give it a couple more minutes here. Albert in the house. Hello. Jerry, I appreciate you. Yeah, we got ads these days, don't we? All right, let's see. Andrew says late round for Julio. Yeah, I mean, like a late round target. It just depends. Right where you're landing him. Anthony says, ready when you are, Catch fan. What's up, Anthony? If you want Julio in real drafts, you're going to have to reach. I do think just because of the name, there will be people reaching for Jones, no doubt. Stober in the house. What's up, bro? Hello. Bunny Up says he won't fall past the 5-6 rounds. I'm excited to see where he goes tonight. Yeah. Bunny Up says, I won't be mad if I can land either Jones or Gage TBH. Both will have great weeks. Yeah, I think they're both going to be, they're going to be players you want to play in the flex. Don't get me wrong. So, see what happens. Chase just walking to my house. Good timing. Let's go. All right, so we got Chase, we got Anthony. We're just missing Talks and Aiden. So we'll go ahead and kick this thing off at 11:10. You guys ready? Foster, you're at 1.1. Albert at 1.2. Derek at 1.3. I'll go ahead and give Aiden and Talks one more shout. And then we'll go from there. Foster's giving me the thumbs up in the sleeper chat. What's up, Fosters? All right, let's see. Aiden's here. Sorry. Talks will hop in when he's ready. Talks beats to the what's that saying? Beats to the toot of his own horn. Is that it? Okay, 30-second draft picks tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, we are doing 30-second picks. Bunny Hop. And J-Dub's in the house, ready to go. So let's kick this thing off, boys and girls. Let's kick off another live 2022 Fantasy Football Mock Draft with the Catch Fam. Draft is starting, baby. All right, Stober's saying Chase or JJ. Sorry. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Jerry. Beat of his own drum. What did I say? The toot of his own horn? What did I say? Oh, God, we might have to clip that. All right. It's a great question, Stober. I think Jefferson slightly more consistency. Slightly. But both offer just a ton of, just a crazy ceiling between both those guys. And really, while Chase has a nice ceiling and some boomer bust potential on a weekly basis, when you look at what he did last season, he was still extremely consistent, especially to start the season, as Chase goes at 1.4, our first receiver off the board tonight. So, listen, and JJ goes right after 1.5. You're getting a great receiver either way. Redraft or dynasty, those have to be two of the most valuable receivers in the draft, right next to Kupp, right? And I would really follow your personal conviction on this one. I'll go ahead and give Talks the auto there, but part of me leans JJ because there's, don't get me wrong, Thielen's there, KJ Osborne's there, but I just feel like the wide receiver core and Cincinnati will demand more targets. But, it's just tough because Burrow and Chase have that special connection. But, man, I just have one of those feelings about JJ. That's just, my personal conviction is JJ is a player I want on my roster. But, regardless if you go JJ or Chase, you got a locked-in wide receiver one with the crazy ceiling on a weekly basis. And you're not going to get a bad selection either way. How long will Burrow be out with the surgery? That's a good question. I think he'll be good by... Okay, so undergoing surgery on appendix. Set to undergo surgery to remove his appendix. Will miss some time. Gosh, that's not... Missing your appendix is awful. Let me make a draft pick real quick. Give me Mixon tonight. All right, let's go back to Burrow. Let's see. Doesn't really give us a timetable. I doubt he's going to miss too much time. I'll have to look up what the... I think he'll probably be practicing within 2 weeks at most. Yeah, Bunny Up says it only takes 12 days to recover. Hey, I'm going to go tight end tonight. I'm going to go tight end and see what happens. Okay, Emil also asked, does James Robinson not being on the PUP list affect ETN's value? Yes, absolutely. I've been saying, all offseason long, whenever Robinson is healthy and ready to play, he's going to have an impact. He's far too talented to not have an impact, But don't get me wrong, they're very different running backs, and ETN is going to be utilized in a very different fashion than Robinson. So it affects things, but I don't think, where he's being drafted, I don't think his ADP needs to be pushed back necessarily, especially if you want him on your squad, So Yes, but if anything, it really affects Robinson's ADP moving up more than it affects ETN's moving down necessarily. So, yeah, it does affect things. But I think that you'll probably still see ETN drafted where he's being drafted. Rio Goated in the house. What's good, bro? What up, what up? All right, so Lil Bonnie Amp says, I take JJ just because Chase says Higgins. He can steal a lot of targets. Yeah, absolutely. And Boyd's in there, you know. But really, when you think about these offenses, I'll give the nod to the Bengals, no doubt. But they're kind of set up in similar fashion when you think about it, you know. Burrow, obviously, at a different point in his career and everything, and probably a better passer than Kirk Cousins. So I don't know if the comparison is necessarily there, but when you think about Mixon versus Cook, like you've got a very talented RB1. They've both got RB2s they can utilize, but that's besides the point. When you look at the receivers, right, like you got JJ as a clear-cut one, you got Chase as a clear-cut one, but then, I mean, Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins have a special connection, and Adam Thielen is still a very, very talented wide receiver. So, you know, you got Higgins versus Thielen, then you got Osborne versus Boyd. Like, don't get me wrong, going into this season, I'm still giving the nod to Higgins. I'm still giving the nod to Boyd, but the Vikings, you know, new head coach, former Rams offensive coordinator. I don't know. That offense could get a little bit loose as well. I mean, it's just, I feel like they're set up relatively similar. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see. So Bunny Hop says, tiny cut in your stomach and then you're good to go. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? It doesn't take too long to recover from an appendix surgery. If I'm chatty tonight, sorry guys, I've been gone. Hey, bro, you're good. That's what we're here for, bro. It's all about the community. You're good, you're good. Yeah, I know you've been, it's probably a nice stress reliever to hop in here and, you know, not think about the move and everything. So it looks like the move's going good. I'm glad to see that, my guy. All right, J-Dub says we understand 100%. All right, so let's see here. Into the third round. Things are getting spicy. We got Kyle Pitts gone, Mark Andrews gone, James Conner, A.J. Brown. Our first quarterback off the board is Josh Allen. Talks auto pick team is all running backs. J-Dubs goes with his third receiver of the night, lands Keenan Allen. Gosh. Cup, Samuel Allen is crazy. All right, Higgins is gone. Speaking of Higgins. And then Julian on the board at 3.9. So, you know, I'm not... Every time I pick a tight end in the first or second round, I really end up not liking my team. So I'm interested to see how this goes. At least in like 12-man drafts, right? 8-man, 10-man, it might be a little bit different. Drafting through ESPN, who has Kelsey and Andrews ranked like 35 and 36, like way back. A little bit different because you can sometimes land 2 to 3 players before you draft them, which is crazy. Overall, we're doing our 12-man competitive drafts with you guys. I don't know. My team feels like it's missing something when I go tight end early. I'm just not used to it. So I want to keep trying that out and see how it goes overall. Ronald says, old ass man. I knew you were not going to be a fan of this signing necessarily. Wow, running backs are doo-doo. Man, you guys just decimate the running back position. You know that? I'm going to go Michael Pittman tonight as my wide receiver 1. Would you guys trust Pittman as your wide receiver 1 going into the season? I think with the right players throughout the rest of the draft, I could get down with Pittman. Full PPR at least. All right, so Andrew will wrap up the third round for us and take us into the fourth. Mr. Matt J. Kim, what's up, bro? What it do, what it do? What up, fam? Long time no see. Great to have you in the building. Great to have you. All right, let's see. You can dislike the trade all you want, but you can't deny how good it can be potentially. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that, right? If anyone can get the best out of Julio, I'm going to go Monty here. It's definitely Brady, right? It is. I mean, that's a crowded wide receiver room. It's going to be interesting. Too many folks that think like you in the draft. I actually did want Josh Jacobs at 4.2. I thought he would fall out. I also had in my mind that Andrea might pick him, so it's a good pick, Andrea. So I probably could have gone Jacobs, who I like just a hair more than Monty. So I like that offense better at 3.11, and then still landed a number of receivers that I like at 4.2. But nonetheless, we've got Mixon, Kelsey, Pittman, and Monty to start the draft. Chase likes Pittman as wide receiver 1, as does Derek. Aiden, you almost have to go RB early in these drafts, or you're chasing them all draft. Yeah, especially when I'm drafting with you guys. That's for sure. We go RB heavy here at the Catch. There's no doubt. All right, Ronald says, what's up, peeps? What's up, Ron? What's good, bro? I go heavy running back early because that's what my in real life draft does, and I'm trying to win 500 and a jersey this year. My brother won the season last year. Hill and Waddle on the same team. Woo! Get all the checkdowns, get all the over the top. Go for the stack, get 2 in there too. Spencer with the super chat tonight saying Steven is a hoe. Our first super chat of all time on the channel. Thank you so much, man. That's so kind of you. I really appreciate that, Spence. Very, very kind of you, bro. And I appreciate your support to the channel. And the first super chat of all time. Steven is a hoe. I had to take a picture of that. It's beautiful. Spence, that's very nice of you, man. You're the man. And I truly, truly do appreciate that, bro. But, ooh, someone just hit that subscribe button. Let's go. I just got the notification. Oh, no, it's just Spencer. Look, Spencer, you got a zombie on the screen. Zombie dancing. Let's go. So, Spence, I know you're asking about channel memberships as well. We will have channel memberships, but you don't get to enable that right away. So, oh my gosh. J Dubs with the super chat. Thank you so much, bro. That means so much, man. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys so much. It's so nice of you guys. So yeah, it does take, I think there's a certain threshold that you have to hit in terms of ad revenue before you can set up memberships, and we're not quite there. So it'll probably be about a month or so before we have channel memberships, just so you guys know, for those of you guys who are interested. And there will be perks associated with the membership as well, of course. J-Dubs, thank you again. That's very kind of you, man. You didn't have to do that at all. Neither did you, Spence. Appreciate you guys, man. 100%. Very, very nice of you guys tonight, man. Julian says he took my players. I'm sorry, bro. Who'd I take from you? Chosen Rose, what's good, bro? I think this boosts Fournette's rankings in my book. Yeah, and I mean, like I said at the beginning of the draft, right? Fournette has he weighed in at like 245 today. I haven't really ever been off Fournette. Like, I mean, going at 2.11 with CMC on Albert's team is beautiful, man. All right, let's see here. When did Super Chats become a thing here? Like 24 hours ago. Not very long ago at all. So, yep. Yeah, shout out to J-Dubs and Spence tonight, man. All right, let's see here. Julian says picks 2 through 4. I'm sorry, man. I will try not to steal your guys next draft. All right, let's see here. I will definitely let you guys know when we hit the membership threshold. No doubt. No doubt. All right, let's see here. Deontay or McLaurin in PPR. You know, I think they're in very similar situations where, you know, the quarterback play is sketchy, right? But I'd be willing to give the nod to Carson Wentz over Pickett or Mitch Trubisky. I actually think Trubisky is in line to have a decent year. Don't get me wrong. And we'll see if Kenny Pickett plays or not this season. But overall, I'd go McLaurin. I'd go McLaurin. I like Deontay a lot. I mean, wide receiver 8 in PPR last season. Like, I'm not giving Deontay a huge knock. It's not like Ben Roethlisberger was playing Hall of Fame football last season. So I'll go McLaurin by a hair, even with Dotson there. I mean, when you look at the Steelers, you still got, you know, Claypool hanging around. You got Freiermuth. You got Najee Harris as a running back who's very involved in the pass game last season. So I'll go McLaurin by a hair. But let us know in the chat. For a mule, would you guys go Deontay or Scary Terry in PPR? Ronald, you can remember us when you get all big. 100%, bro. 100%. Hey, we're just we're doing the same thing that we've done every day at the channel. Nothing's changed here, and I'll always remember who got me here. There's no doubt, man. No doubt. All right, I'm on the clock here. I've got to pick football players. And I'm going to take... I don't know who I'm going to take. Well, I'll go Eli Mitchell here. I need the chance. I might get Shanahan, but I need it. I need it. All right, let's see here. Fournette gets fat every offseason. Not an issue. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Julian, thanks. Yeah, I got you, bro. No more stealing players from me in the future. He's the Patty Pimblett of the NFL. Patty the Batty. Jerry, question mark? Is that about Jerry Judy? Or about our Jerry? Where did Jerry go? All right, into the 6th round, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew wraps up the 5th with Kareem Hunt. Where do I want to go here? Andrea goes with Thielen. Yeah, I'm going to go Godwin here. I'm going to take the 2nd Buccaneers receiver off the board and go with Godwin. No, our Jerry, where is he? Haven't seen him in forever. He was in here earlier. All right, 17 votes. 59% of you say no, you're not drafting Julio. 41% of you say yes. I'm going to throw Emil's question in here real quick. Let's see. Create a poll. Yeah, Jerry was in here earlier, Ron. Who ya drafting? Scary Terry or Deontay Johnson? I guess I should be a little bit more specific just in case. Julio could be this year's Antonio Brown. I still feel like Russell Gage could be this year's Antonio Brown. This is going to be really hard to evaluate as the offseason goes on. All right, into the 6th round, we got Thielen, Godwin, Miles Sanders, Cooper, St. Brown, Jackson, and Deontay Harris gone. Kenneth Walker's gone. Dalton Schultz gone. He's a much better spot in Tampa than Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, a pass-heavy team. I mean, Tom Brady versus Tannehill. I don't dislike Tannehill, but I'll take Brady, right? I think he's moving into a very good situation where he could be productive. So, we'll see. We'll see. He has no hammy, says Ronald. That's fair. No hammy Julio. Bunny Up says Johnson all day. J-Dub says I prefer Terry's situation. Spence says he won't need to play many snaps, which would keep him healthy and fresh. Yeah, that is one aspect. The unfortunate thing with Julio, though, is he's not really historically been a red zone guy. You know? We like to think of him that way, but really throughout his career, he's been a big play receiver and a contestant receiver who can make a lot of grabs. So he's got to be utilized that way within this offense, you know? I do like this move for the Bucs. Like, I want to emphasize that, you know? I just don't know how much fantasy stock we want to put into Julio Jones yet. You know? Spence says contested catch guys are always red zone threats. That's what makes them red zone threats. I mean, that's fair to say, but when you look at Julio specifically, it hasn't really panned out that way. I mean, he's only scored double-digit touchdowns once in his career. And, I mean, It's been a while since he topped 8. I mean, 2018, was that the year they went to the Super Bowl? When that offense was on fire? But really, when you look over his career, 6, 8, 3, 6, 8, 6, 2, 8 in his rookie season. I mean, don't get me wrong, 6 to 8 touchdowns is not bad by any means, but, you know, his red zone ability has certainly capped. I mean, you look at some of the numbers of receptions versus how many touchdowns he's had. I don't know. There's probably better stats out there on it. But over time, he just has not been a red zone guy. But don't get me wrong. I mean, that could have something to do with Matt Ryan and his chemistry in the red zone. I don't know. We'll see. But I get what you're saying. No doubt. No doubt. He is like 33. He is old. He is old. Ronald, I hate wins. Still take Terry. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that, Ron. Devin, what's good, bro? Nice drafting. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Catch fam killing it tonight, per usual. All right, so in the 7th round here, we got CH, Pollard, Singletary, and Edmonds off the board. At running back, Wilson's our only quarterback gone this round. Hopkins, Juju, Elijah Moore, and Devonta Smith gone. At the receiver position, Kyler Murray's gone. I'm going to land Renfro here. See, I just, whenever I go tight end early, I just feel like my draft is so different. And, I don't know, I don't, like, dislike this team. But I'm just not used to having more upside at tight end in comparison to running back and receiver early on, which is what I usually prefer. You know, I'm just not used to it. All right, I'm going to go Hurts here. I'm going to take a quarterback and get that out of the way so I can just go running back receiver and finish out this draft tonight. All right, so into the 8th round we go. We got Zach Ertz at 8.1, Jalen Hurts at 8.2, Chase on the clock here. Spence says, give me Deontay because Trubisky is equal to last year's Ben, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. He should still get his 10-plus targets. Yeah, I do think that Deontay's been a little bit unfairly moved back, you know, on draft boards. But, I mean, going at 3.9 tonight, you know, with how RB-heavy this draft has been and how RB-heavy these drafts typically are, like, that's a pretty fair landing spot. You know, but just don't forget, right? Full PPR, this is your wide receiver 8 last season. I mean, just he was extremely consistent. He missed week 3 against Cincinnati. And outside of that in full PPR, he only had one game where he did not score double-digit fantasy points. And he was 0.2 points away from doing so. So he nearly scored double-digit fantasy points in every single game last year that he played in, right? So, I mean, 8 touchdowns, 169 targets. Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm convincing myself that I like Johnson more than McLaurin. He reminds me of MT, very good on the short routes. Where he went tonight is where I have him. Yeah, I've still got him pretty high on my personal rankings. Don't get me wrong. McLaurin, I just feel like is in a slightly more, I don't know, I want to say consistent situation, but you could really argue that, you could argue it either way. It's a tough question. It really is a good question, Emil. All right, so Russell Gage taking out 8.10 tonight, so his ADP not really falling back any in comparison to other drafts that we've done on the channel. Where did Evans go tonight? Yeah, 2.12. So really, Evans in the 2nd, Godwin in the 6th. I mean, I'm surprised Godwin hasn't moved up potentially a round or so. And then Gage in the 8th, and we still got Julio floating around somewhere, right? Taylor Heineke is so bad on deep routes, can't be any worse. Yeah. Shout out to my boy Taylor Heineke, though. I do love him. But, yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with that. I have him and Higgins exact same behind Keenan and Brown. Yeah, I think the difference with Johnson is he's at least, you know, the clear-cut number 1 at the position, right? Higgins, you're competing with Chase. I would say Keenan Allen's a clear-cut number 1 with Williams at the number 2. And then Brown, yeah, Brown's probably the number 1. I think when it comes to Devonta Smith, he's still going to see a ton of targets, but he's probably, I don't know, he's more of that security blanket type 2 read, I also think it's totally different, says Aiden, with Deontay with the new quarterback because the Steelers could start targeting Chase Claypool more. It's true. It's true. And you don't know, what chemistry receiver or, quarterbacks and receivers start to develop. We don't know what receivers the quarterback's going to be looking to, whether it's Trubisky or Pickett, but you got to imagine it's Deontay, right? Claypool is a deep threat guy. Those guys rarely get many targets, says Spence. All right, let me make a draft selection here. Oh, where do I want to go? Wow, you guys ate up the receiver position. I'll take Christian Kirk. Why not? I don't know where to go next. I got 3 running backs, 4 receivers. I'm basically just going to finish out wide receiver, running back, and call this thing a day. So I got a tight end 1 that I believe in for an entire season. I got a quarterback 1 I believe in. And it's not that I have bad receivers and running backs, but I definitely need some help, All right, so let's see here. I'm going to go running back here. Give me James Robinson. You guys know I had to become a Robinson truther again. I was last season. I mean, 2 of my favorite backs to target going into last season were Montgomery and Robinson, just where their ADP was. All right, so let's hear. Wentz might be Terry's best quarterback yet. That's definitely fair. It's definitely fair. Emil, for content purposes, Hunt or Pollard? Look at last season. When healthy, Hunt's the answer, right? But I would take Pollard by a hair. Pollard by a hair. Let us know in the chat. You know what? We're ending the poll at 50-50. 50% Terry, 50% Deontay. Now, let's ask, who ya drafting? And we'll go with Hunt or Pollard. Boom. All right, let's see. Appreciate you guys being here tonight, man. Appreciate everyone hanging out. All right, let's see. Chase, I was going to take Robinson. My bad, bro. Since I had ETN. My B. Spence, I get to play Aaron Hills tomorrow with my guest group as a perk for being a caddy. It would cost $2.5K to get a foursome out, and this only costs us $40. Nice. Look at those job perks coming in, bro. Devin, I've done 5 drafts today and got the 12th pick in 4 of them. Jeez. Talk about odds against you. Is it Mitch or Kenny Pickett? I personally think it's going to be Mitch. I do think if he's not performing well and, they're losing football games, that it'll turn into Kenny Pickett. But I think that Mitch is going to start the season personally. And I actually think that they could win some football games with Mitchell Trubisky relying on the defense and the run game. And, hey, I mean, the Bears decided to move away from Mitchell Trubisky. Like, they did make the playoffs with Mitch, and he didn't have necessarily awful games, but they decided to move forward with Justin Fields, which, is fine. But I don't know. I think that Mitch could win some football games for the Steelers, no doubt. Aiden says about even, in my opinion, depends on injury. Sure. Between Hunt and Pollard, yeah. I mean, that's fair, no doubt. Spence says it's going to be Mitch. Pickett was taking third-team reps. Pickett needs time. Yeah. I think Mitch is the QB1 to start the season. And the only way Pickett would play is if they're losing if things start to look really bad, And the fans start to say, we won't Pickett, But they're definitely going to try and develop him. But it's probably best for him to sit, too, realistically. All right, so Julio Jones is taken in the 11th round by Derek. So he gets Gage and Julio. So there we go. Post Julio Jones trade. In our first draft since 12 teams, Julio goes at 11.3 tonight. So I was interested to see where he'd go. And I was purposely not targeting him whatsoever to see what would happen. All right, so just about every player that I was thinking about drafting is gone, which is okay. Because I didn't think any of them would fall here. But, gosh, my running backs are bad. Well, they're not bad. They're just, I don't know. They're not great. I need some receiver value here at the end of the draft. I got 3 bench spots. Hurts, Mixon, Monty, Pittman, Godwin, Kelsey, Mitchell, Renfro, Kirk, Robinson. I don't hate this team. I'm going to go J.D. McKissick here. Because I need something at running back to help me out. By the way, bet Ravens to win every single preseason game. They're like 24-0, 20-0. No kidding. I did not know that, Spence. All right, well, there you go. There's your bet of the night from Spence. Gage will do great until Godwin returns. Yeah, I agree. But now we're getting reports Godwin could be ready at the beginning of the season. Whether it's week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. The timetable's looking good for Godwin. I mean, he's been cleared to practice, so it's going to be interesting. I still think Gage will have a role in that offense, no doubt. No doubt. But it's going to be interesting to see how it shapes out. All right, so Andrew takes Jarvis Landry to bring us into the 12th round. Ooh. I think the best player available is Hunter Henry. I'm going to go Hunter Henry even though I have Kelsey. Trade value. Bye week value, whatever. See, I don't hate this team. I've got everything I need on this team. But I just don't love it. And every time I go tight end in the first or second, this is what happens. How do you guys feel about my team? You know, and seriously, because I just always feel weird when I go tight end early. I don't know what it is. J-Dubs, I still like Gage with the Julio signing, no doubt. I'm with you. I'm with you. Stober just joined the Discord. What's up, Stober? Gage will get all these slot snaps. Yeah, that's true. I think with the Julio signing, that will make Tampa Bay not rush Godwin back. That's true, and they shouldn't rush him back regardless. I mean, that's a good point, Spence. If he has any setback, I see him getting pushed back. That's fair. That's actually a valid point to bring up. Julio will take Evans' spot when Evans pulls his hamstring. Yeah, or Godwin, right? That is the thing, right? You know, Evans hasn't missed a ton of time, but he has missed some time. He's always had nagging injuries, and Godwin has missed time. So it is a good move by the Bucs, undoubtedly. So Spence says I would have liked it a lot more with Deontay over Pittman. Well, Deontay was gone. He went at 3.9. But that's fair. If he was available, that's fair. Still like it because of Kelsey. Sure thing. Chase says, pretty solid team. Appreciate it. See, anytime I go tight end early, I don't know. I just feel a little bit off. Do you think there's something to waiting on quarterback if you take a tight end early, not saying you can't do both? Yeah. I mean, just look. I mean, we got Hurts in the 8th round. It's a 12-team draft tonight. We land Hurts in the 8th round. Like, I'm 110% good with that, you know? So, I just think if you go tight end and quarterback early on, you know, both within the first 4 rounds, you're definitely looking at losing wide receiver and running back value that you're going to have to make up throughout the rest of the draft. I mean, you look at like Lil Bunny Hop's team, right? Goes Allen in the 3rd, Waller in the 5th. So that's, you know, 1 quarterback, 1 tight end in the first 5 rounds. I mean, gets really good value at receiver and JJ and Williams in those first 5 rounds, but then only lands Chubb in those first 5 rounds, has to revert to, some committee approaches, right? Walker, Singletary, and Gordon. So obviously you've got the upside at quarterback and tight end. You still got an RB1 to lean on. Then you've got 2 great ceilings with Jefferson and Williams, and, some great receivers at the end of this draft with Boyd, Gallup, and Chark. And then, great tight end 2 behind Waller and Hawkinson. So it just kind of depends, right? You're losing value at some places, because on that team, for example, like those committees can get you through at an RB2 as long as Chubb is healthy, and then you're relying on receiver, tight end, and quarterback to make up for, that lost upside at running back. So you pay a price, you definitely pay a price, but you can run a team that way. There's no doubt about it. All right, so Spencer's, there is Chase unless you can get a high value stack. Devin says Harris or Mixon. That's been a really tough one for me. It is tough. Listen, I think that Harris will probably get more touches, but I'm a little bit more bullish on Mixon because I like the offense a little bit more, and I like the offensive line a little bit more as well. All right, I got to pick a football player. Give me Van Jefferson. Man, I might punt a kicker or defense tonight. I don't know. I'll go Mixon by a hair, but I really like both, man. I really do. What, Mixon was RB3 last season? No, RB4, RB3 in standard. Then Harris was RB3. So they're right next to each other. I mean, they're going to feed Harris. Like, they don't have a choice, They really don't. I mean, Mixon's been my guy. Listen, if I come out of a draft with either one, I'm not going to be upset. And they're very, very close. Very, very close in what we saw last season in terms of comparison. And very, very close into what I expect them to produce coming out of this season. All right, what's up, everybody? We got 26 viewers in the house. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. Thank you guys for drafting with us and talking fantasy football and tuning in. Appreciate you guys being here. All right. I'm just going to pick a kicker and a defense and wrap this one up. I'm not going to punt either. All right, guys, hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Let's try and get as many likes on the stream as possible. And, of course, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Appreciate everyone hanging out tonight, man. All right, let's see here. Bunny Hop, I always go RB to start. I just wanted to switch it up. Yeah, I like it. I like it, man. It was just a good evaluation for what we were looking at in terms of the question, right? All right, definitely do not want to be relying on backup and committee RB rooms. Yeah, and it's like you could get through with this team. You just think if you have any injury to Penny, if Singletary is stealing all the goal line touches and Cook's more the PPR guy, just what I think will happen, then Gordon has the same value he has last season, then actually this team could be really damn good, right? But you'd have to be starting JJ and Williams on a weekly basis. Then Boyd is somebody you could consider in full PPR too. All right, so let other people take CMC. Spencer, I'm pussy. I'm too scared. Saquon has scarred me for life. Fair enough. I mean, I had CMC last season at 1.1, so I was relatively scarred on that too. Chubb or Jay Williams? Spence says Williams just because of age. I think I'd go Chubb just by a hair. Just because I think that Williams' ceiling is capped as long as Gordon's there. But Hunt is there for the Browns too, so it's close. It's close. I mean, I don't disagree. I do think the more explosive back is going to be Williams. I'm drafting Odell because he's signing the Bucs next. Fair enough. Spence says Odell going to LA or Pack just wants rings and money. Oh yeah, why not, right? All right, shout out to Foster's for drafting Chris Carson once again. Shout out to a great career by Chris Carson. I like the pick, man. Honorary pick. What a great career when healthy, man. I mean, these 2 seasons were just monster. I mean, don't forget, this was a top 5 fantasy running back, top 5 draft selection 2 years in a row, and going into 2020, still a top 10 guy as well. Just an unfortunate injury. And, I'm sure he's looking at quality of life more than anything, and you got to respect that, right? So a great career. And just a true, you look at the way Marshawn Lynch played. What a great switch at the running back position when Carson was healthy. Was he a Marshawn Lynch? No, but a very similar running style, and it brought a lot of that, that beast mode mentality to Seattle when he was healthy. So, shout out to Chris Carson, man, a great career, and it sucks to see that career cut short. So, shout out again to Chris Carson, no doubt, man. I'm going to pick a defense and finish out my draft here. Give me the Saints. And there we go, boys and girls. Another live 2022 Fantasy Football Mock Draft in the books. Aiden, I got to head out for the night. Have a good rest of the stream. Catch fam. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you drafting tonight as well. All right, let's see. All right, Derek's got his hand up. Guys, let me know in the chat if you guys want me to take a look at your team as we wrap up the stream. Okay. Derek going with Wilson at quarterback. I'm fine with that. Got a little stack with Sutton and Patrick there. Okay. Cameron Brate, Logan Thomas. I don't love this tight end room. I do think Logan Thomas is worth a late round flyer, but I'm staying away from the Buccaneers tight ends officially with Kyle Rudolph in there. I would have considered, let's see, you got 6 receivers, 4 running backs. When you drafted Brate, I like Kmet more. I even like Fant and Irv Smith more than Cameron Brate. Even in theory, I probably like Njoku more. So, if you go after Gage, I don't know that you need to go after Jones. I mean, yeah, you're securing some upside and everything potentially, but I probably would have gone Gesicki or Henry over Jones, and then gone with another receiver to diversify from a different team, maybe a Dotson, Parker, Pickens, Rondell Moore, Van Jefferson, Kendrick Bourne, whoever it may be, over Cameron Brate. That'd be my only note on that scenario. But Eckler, Jones, Connor is just ridiculous. I'd be ecstatic with those 3 backs going into the season. Then Algier, a great RB4 to top off that room. So going heavy running back, he's still landing some really good receivers. Sutton, Cooks, Mooney, Gage, Patrick, and Jones. I mean, I do like the receiving room. I do like the quarterback room, the running back room. But tight end, that would just be my note at the end of the draft. Bucks defense and Harrison Butker. Still a good draft altogether, man. A good team, undoubtedly. All right, so let's see. J-Dubs with the hand up. Lamar at quarterback with Fields. Think that's a good quarterback to stack behind Jackson, no doubt. Knox and Freiermuth, 2 tight ends in a row. I'm fine with that tight end room. Fine with the quarterback room. Kupp, Debo, and Allen. I mean, kind of the opposite of what we just went over. Derek starting with receivers, receiver heavy. I mean, just a crazy receiving room. Gabe Davis as well. So just 4 receivers on this team. You probably theoretically want to try and land another one, but what happened is you lost value at running back, so you're kind of trying to make up later in the draft at running back as opposed to receiver. I mean, I would say in full PPR, over Fields, if you already have Jackson, I would probably consider at least another receiver over Fields, right? Or maybe over Gainwell, either way, But nonetheless, if you have Kupp, Samuel, and Allen, you're probably starting those guys on a weekly basis at the 1, 2, and flex positions, right? Then Gabe Davis, someone else you could consider in that mix. So obviously your upside's at receiver. You still landed 2 great tight ends, a great QB1. And then, you're kind of hoping for some of these committee running backs or handcuff running backs to break out for you, especially Breece Hall. And probably Edmonds or Patterson would be your next 2 starters. So it's not a bad team, don't get me wrong. But I would consider maybe another receiver in there. But I'm sure your reasoning for only going 4 receivers is because you started the damn draft with Kupp, Debo, and Keaton Allen, right? So I can't really knock that. All right, Chase, what we got here, bro? Goddard and Cousins. I don't know why. Murray and Cousins, excuse me. Then Goddard and Irv Smith. I'm fine with that quarterback and tight end room. Najee, Etienne, Sanders, and Mack and Robinson. So you're really relying on Harris and Etienne. Good receiver value. CeeDee Lamb, McLaurin, Judy, Olave, Wilson, and Jameson Williams. I maybe would have considered... I don't know, man, because he went Cousins and Irv Smith so late. It's just kind of hard to say, like, especially because he did draft a kicker or defense, that you should have gone with another receiver or running back, right? Because he didn't really lose value going tight end or with the extra tight end or quarterback because he drafted another running back or receiver. So definitely your upside's at receiver, right? Lamb, Scary Terry, and Judy. But Etienne and Harris are a really solid RB1, RB2. It's not like Sanders and Mack were bad value where you got them. I'm just not very bullish on Sanders or Marlon Mack. I'm leaning towards Damian Pierce, and I'm just staying away from Philly's backfield, right? But Murray, a great QB1, Goddard, a great tight end one. Then you got great value in Cousins and Smith. So then I love Olave as well. I mean, I got to throw that in there. Olave as a wide receiver 4 makes this team a lot better too. Then Wilson and Williams just really, some nice upside picks as well. So I do like this team. But I would say the RB room just feels a little bit scarce to me with Sanders, Mack, and Robinson as your next options behind Harris and Etienne. But it's still a good team, no doubt. All right, Andrea, what we got tonight? Stafford at quarterback, Ertz at tight end. I'm good with both of those. Swift, Jacobs, Hunt, Penny, Williams. So good value at running back. I mean, basically switching off between running back and receiver, going, later round tight end and QB. So you're pretty even par at receiver and running back. Adams, Moore, Thielen, Sky Moore, Jarvis Landry, and Alec Pierce. So this is a good team. There's nothing crazy about it, but you have everything you need. It's even across the board, and I do think it's a good team. I do. There may have been, I think Darrell Williams is good value here. Sky Moore, fine value there. Landry and Pierce, I mean, those are kind of like you're going for nice PPR value there. You got some nice upside at kicker and Justin Tucker. And the Cowboys defense, it's the last pick of the draft, your number 1 defense last year. I don't think they're going to repeat that, but it's still good value. So I think this is a good team. I don't really have anything bad to say about this team. J-Dub's first time I didn't overload receivers. You could argue, the first 3 rounds he did, though. Devin says Derek Carr MVP. Comfortable with what I have, with what I had. Always stream on some buys for sure. Julian. Where are we, Julian? Right here, right in front of my face. Lance and Carr at QB. Okay, I like that. If I was just Lance, be a little bit more wary, but Lance and Carr together I like. 1 tight end, late round tight end, and Noah Fant. I'm not, ceiling's capped, upside's not crazy, but if you feel like you fumbled at the position, there's more value at every other position throughout the draft, then hey, I'm not going to knock you for it. Now, running back is pretty thin. Cook, Dobbins, Cook. You got both the Cooks. You got the super stack, the Cook to Cook stack, and Mostart. So I would prefer to see another running back on this team, maybe over Tony or MVS. Even if it's Ronald Jones, Carter, Algier, Spiller, Madison White, Henderson, Hines, all those running backs drafted right there. Over Tony, I would like this team a lot more. But wide receiver looks great. Hill, Deontay, Waddle. You could stop there and have a really nice start. But Cooper, Smith, yeah. So, landing those 5 receivers to start, I would have personally, even in full PPR, gone with another running back at 10.4. And even considered another running back over MVS at 11.9. And then when he got back down to 13.9, then if you wanted, I would rather see a guy like Van Jefferson or Alec Pierce, Pickens, Kendrick Bourne, someone along those lines taking over Mostart, and that would make me like this team a little bit more. But it's still a good team, and you got a lot of upside at receiver, and then you could rely on Cook and Dobbins. Don't get me wrong, and even Mini Cook as well. I am a big fan of James Cook. So, and I think the quarterback room going late round quarterback worked out as well. Noah Fant's interesting, definitely interesting. But you guys know I've been a voice for Noah Fant at least. Where's Jimmy G gonna land? I had no idea. Where is Jimmy G gonna land? What do you guys think? Let's see. Bunny Up says much love, fam. Have a good night. Appreciate you, bro. Always appreciate you being in here. Have a good night. Hope the move continues to go well. Chase should have gone running back instead of Goddard. I mean, I do really like Goddard. I will say that much. Thanks, agreed with the should have went Komet. No worries, man. Yeah, and I'm trying to give you guys a little bit more extensive feedback as we move towards the season as well. All right, Mr. Matt J. Kim, damn, 3 tight ends special. Who went 3 tight ends? What's up, Mr. Matt J. Kim? Appreciate you being in here. Oh, wait, it's defense. Oh, okay. Let's see. I think Sanders being overlooked. I think what worries me more is just the way they deployed that backfield. Couldn't find the end zone last year on the team with the most rushing touchdowns. That should change. I mean, I hope it does. I hope it does. Spence says MT going at 6.12, Olave at 9.10 is hilarious when Olave is going to be the wide receiver 1 on the team. I mean, I don't mind it being that way. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll target Olave later on all day long. Chase, thanks, John. This beats going against computers. It's definitely very, very different than doing a draft online. There's no doubt. Much, much more competitive from start to finish. Normally, I would have drafted another receiver, but I was such a powerhouse receiver, I didn't feel the need to draft more. Normally, redraft, I would always hit up the waiver wire. Yeah, that is essentially what I assumed. I mean, Kupp, Samuel, Allen is crazy. Spence, you shouldn't be leery about Lance. Jimmy G won't be there, and when he played last year, he did well. Yeah, I really like a just-in-case quarterback with them, you know? Just because we still got a small sample size. But I get what you're saying. J-Dub says Lance should be efficient in that Shanahan offense. Yeah, the ceiling and upside is definitely there. There's no doubt. Seattle to Jimmy G for Jimmy G, says Andrea. I mean, that makes the most sense. Yeah. Jimmy to Browns, they have the means to support that contract. That is true. It is a massive contract that someone's got to pick up, right? Sanders had the most red zone touches, I think, couldn't get in. Yeah, because he saw Scott and Howard and Gainwell get in there all the time, you know? It's just wild. All right, ladies and gentlemen, great points here at the end of the draft. We'll go ahead and wrap things up for the night. Another great draft in the books. Andrea, Chase, Julian, Anthony, J-Dub. Shout out to Talks. Couldn't make it tonight. That's okay. Little Bunny Hop, Aiden, Derek, Albert, Fosters. Appreciate you guys drafting tonight. Everyone else you hung out tonight. Everyone else you stopped by. Of course, we appreciate you. Spencer, Mr. Matt J. Kim. Who else stopped by tonight? Devin was in here. Shout out to Dev. Ronald, of course. Shout out to Ron. Shout out to J-Dubs and Spence again for the super chats. Thank you guys so much. Very, very kind of you guys. Chosen Rose. Shout out to you. Real Goated. Stober. Jerry was in here. We had so many members of the Catch fam in here tonight. Appreciate all you guys. Everyone else you stopped by, everyone else you hung out, thank you guys so much for being here, of course. I did want to mention, I'm trying to get the Catch Fam League spots filled up. So I did shout out a couple of you guys on Discord who I knew may have some interest, who have brought it up before. But please, guys, let me know if you guys are not already on the list, which is currently on Discord. And whenever I do update it, I'll just post it so you guys can know if you're on the list or not. But please, 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 if you guys want to play in the league tournament this year, I want you guys in there. We're going to have 4 leagues of 12. Each number 1 spot from each league wins a prize, and then the number 1 overall, whatever out of those 4 teams, I'm sorry, whoever scores the most points gets the grand prize. So I'll have more details on the league coming and everything, but I want to get those spots filled, and I want you guys to be a part of it if you want to be a part of it. I know that most of you guys are already in there, but I'm just going to keep shouting that out and trying to get that filled a little bit more aggressively the next week or so, so that I can kind of get everything finalized and put together as well. All right. That'll do it for the stream. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the league as well, J-Dubs. It's going to be a good time, man. It's going to be a good time. All right, boys and girls, you don't know what to do, man. Hit that like button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Check out all the links down below. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Make sure to join our Discord if you guys haven't done so already. That is the best way to get our mock draft invites, and we'd love to have you guys mock with us in the future. All right, so that'll wrap it up, guys. Another great mock draft in the book, and we are one day closer. One day closer to fantasy football, one day closer to NFL kickoff. I just can't wait. I can't believe that, we've got, it's midnight, so we've got like 4 days of July left. I can't believe that August is here. It's just wild. And I'm pumped. Senior Cinnabon came in right at the end. What's up, bro? Appreciate you stopping by, my guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for the night. Hit me up on Discord, Twitter, Instagram if you guys need anything in the meantime, and we'll get a mock draft link posted for tomorrow night. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Love the community. Love the Catch fam, man. And I appreciate everything that you guys do. That'll do it for the night. With that, I got nothing else to say, but thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch. And peace.